You're listening to the LouddMouth Radio Network. Are you looking for some authentic, low and slow homemade barbecue? Look no other than Big Daddy's Barbecue, located at 1020 North State Street in San Jacinto, California. Serving up some of the best barbecue you can imagine, from ribs to hot links, chicken, even catfish. Not fast food, but good food fast. That's what they believe right there at Big Daddy's Barbecue. Hey, this is Sonny with LouddMouth Radio Network. Proud to be able to make this statement today and say that LouddMouth Radio Network, LouddMouth.com, LouddMouth Marketing and Entertainment Group is officially a part of the San Jacinto Chamber of Commerce, a chamber of commerce that is dedicated to serving small businesses in the San Jacinto Valley region, looking to attract, develop, promote, and seek to harbor full prosperity for local businesses. The San Jacinto Valley Chamber is a great choice to get that support, providing avenues of networking, training, program development, and influence policy for the public and advocating legislative issues that are helping to promote local business and job growth. So if you're looking or considering a chamber to join and you want to have a good presence in a strong working community within the Southern California area, maybe you should consider the San Jacinto Valley Chamber of Commerce. For more information, visit them online at sanjacinto.com. Hey guys, it's Juneteenth, Freedom Day. I wanted to start this broadcast with one of my favorite people that has been an influential figure for me for many, many years, from high school and beyond. And I can say I had the joy of having her be my commencement ceremonial speaker when I graduated from Savannah College of Art and Design, SCAD, in Savannah, Georgia. The almighty, amazing Maya Angelou has a rich history in the U.S. and across the world, and I wanted to open up this segment, which I think is befitting. It's Juneteenth, and I wanted to allow her voice be a part of introducing this broadcast today. So you guys know what day it is. It's Monday, y'all. It's Sonny's Monday Motivation. And today we're going to talk about what is important to you in this Freedom Day. It's a national holiday. And I titled this show, How to Live a Life of Freedom. And the next voice you get to hear is my beloved Maya.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Just because I walk as if I have oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just because I laugh, as if I have gold mines digging in my own backyard. You can shoot me with your words, you can cut me with your lies, you can kill me with your hatefulness, but just like life, I'll rise. Does my sexiness offend you? Oh. Does it come as a surprise that I dance as if I have diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling and bearing in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, wow. There I go.
What's going on, y'all? What's everybody doing? It is June 19th, 2023, and it is Juneteenth. And I am doing a live of this actual portion of my Sonny's Monday Motivation. I got so much stuff here on my, guys, you should see my setup right now. This is funny because literally, it's been a long time since I've done a live, right? And I got so much that I want to put into the content. I know that this is going to be a nice little broadcast that'll also be available for download. And I will have my media partners that are media partners and LouddMouth network members have their part of this segment in our full radio broadcast once I'm completely done with this. But hello everybody, hello everyone, hello everyone. We're actually celebrating the Freedom Day, right? And I chose to make the conversation today be about just that. What does freedom mean for you, right? What does that look like? And how to live a life of freedom is actually the show topic today. So I got two cameras. I got 2 or 3 cameras in front of me. I got 2 computers, and I got my soundboard, my mic in front of me. So I got a lot happening over here. But it's been a minute since I've decided to do this, and I figured this could be a great way to to celebrate what we say is important. I think to everybody is to have a sense of freedom and what it means to live a life of freedom. Only you can subscribe to what that means for you, right? I believe that many people are still adjusting to Juneteenth. A lot of people still may not be aware that it is a national holiday. The administration, I believe the current administration, President Biden, put that into motion since he's been in office. And, but for people of color, since June 19th, 1865, in the state of Texas, this actual day has been recognized for a long time as celebrations. I can't even remember when I really first heard of Juneteenth myself. I must admit that I have not been very privy to understanding a lot of the history growing up. For those who may not know, I'm from the city of Chicago, born and raised, and not coming from, for majority of my life, I've lived South. But I was born and raised in Chicago, and a lot of my family's still there in Chicago, right? And Juneteenth, I think, a lot of Southern states probably has had way more exposure than most. And, it's still a growing understanding. I wouldn't say a trend, but it's more of a growing understanding of what that means and what it looks like. So, but I do feel like, on a date of today that's being recognized as the national holiday as a Freedom Day, that I thought that this conversation about how to live a life of freedom could resonate across quite a few nationalities and cultures. And you see, I decided to wear one of my favorite little dashiki print looking colored shirts to give my essence of freedom in this day. And it's been a beautiful day here in Southern California. It's been absolutely a wonderful day. And I'm inside right now in the studio. I had to get settled in because today has been a hard day to be on the inside because the weather's been perfect. It's like 80 degrees. The sun is shining. And I know y'all probably think I talk about the weather a lot. And I do because I think for me, it does something for my spirit and my energy. And to me, even if something as simple as the weather, is a sense of freedom for me. It makes me feel alive a lot of times. It gives me a sense of a start of my day. And I'm not saying that it always has to be sunny, because sometimes the rain can be just as good, right? But it does affect how I feel. It affects my mood a lot of times. I think a lot of people may not realize this, but a lot of times the weather affects your mood. And, to be somewhere that has such a vast climate, in the state of California, there's mountains, there's beaches, there's ocean, there's lakes. So you have an opportunity to kind of get all seasons, right? And having all seasons means that you are capable of doing a lot in this climate. You can ski, you can swim, you can surf, you can hike, you can do absolutely nothing, and just allow the natural element of what's around you, impact your life if you choose to. So what's wonderful about that, I think I connect freedom to be a lot of different things. I think the freedom to be able to come and go is important to people. I think the freedom to be able to stand in your own right of desire is a sense of freedom. And to be able to express yourself is a sense of freedom. I think that a lot of people have become more aware of their voices. And so you're finding people are utilizing a lot of creative ways to communicate, from doing what I'm doing, which is podcasts and videos and reels, all these different things, which is why, so many platforms have come to surface with millions and sometimes billions of people in connection, right? Like right now I'm going live. I'm on Facebook right now live, right? So I think that for many people, freedom looks different. I invite you to kind of post your comments if you like in regards to this conversation. I do have my computer right here to be able to see and monitor this segment as we're talking. But I also want to bring light to how important it is to feel free as a person, as an individual in your life, in your workspace, in your home life, in your social life, in your business. And sometimes the way you move, the way you interact with people can symbolize how much you find yourself living a life of freedom. And if you're doing the things that are important to you and that matter to you, that is a sense of freedom in itself. If you're encouraging people to live their fullest lives and to do the things necessary that makes their day or their purpose stronger, I think that's a sense of freedom. Financial, you've heard this statement a lot of times, financial freedom, right? What does financial freedom look like? Maybe being able to buy things that you desire, or, it's not so much about overzealousness, but being able to make sure that what it takes for you to live, your basic needs and necessities is always first. Making sure that whatever your financial responsibilities are being handled, and to be able to have the freedom to take your finances and do those things, and then outside of that realm do something greater, is a sense of freedom that can make life in the world easier. The freedom to travel. I know that a lot of people talk about traveling and what that looks like for them. And, some people have never left their neighborhood. Some people have never left their city. Some have never left their state. And I'm not saying that to downplay anybody, but it's a real truth. There's been some people that have not, in their own right, felt comfortable enough to explore what things look like beyond their comfort zone, right? So I tell people that it's important to do what sometimes pushes you out of your comfort zone, right? And being able to do that is a sense of freedom, but you're exercising your freedom of choice to make a decision for yourself, right? some of the foods that you eat. Luckily we live in a country where there's vast amounts of different types of food, and how you eat and how you digest your food, and if you're exercising, just different things like this that we might do on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes people take it for granted, right? And it's for us it's so common nature, but I actually highly suggest that you venture outside of your comfort zone and see maybe how other countries live, and see how some of the things that we've been doing may not resonate the same, because of the factor that there's countries that don't have the same freedoms and liberties that we do. Right? Sometimes we don't even recognize that when you go to other countries, we're celebrating certain things here in the U.S. that is not prevalent in other countries. I think sometimes we talk about, certain things like, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, like different things that are going on. Some countries may embrace it, some may not. And so it's important to know about places and about people and other cultures. I think it gives you a bigger understanding of how we may have so many things that we take for granted, in our own back door, in our own homes, in our own relationships, and the way that we've been able to do things. And I think that, which is why you hear a lot of people say that America is, so many opportunities. And I think that we've been led to believe that we're the almighty greatest out of almost anybody. And I think sometimes that can be a lie. I was trying to find a better word, but I do believe that we can, be a little too stuffy about ourselves and go to other places and sometimes come across disrespectful, because we think that because we're in almighty USA and everything that we do is okay, and other countries may be less than, or they may not have the opportunities that we have. But I find that there's different things that drive different places, and people are driven by different things. I do remember when I went to France, and one of the things I was eager to do was to try to see about going out and feeding the homeless and connecting to people that may be, in a situation. And I remember talking to someone that was a native of France, and she told me, she said, Sonny, we're not like the U.S. We take care of our people. There's not as much homelessness as you see in the U.S. as it is. There's not much homelessness in France as you see in the U.S. And it made my jaws drop. And it made me realize that, we got way bigger problems than we realize as a country. And we're not necessarily being as responsible as we could be as fellow citizens. And I preconceived the notion that, I could, go and, go into this country and do something. I could, make a difference, in which I'm not saying that there wasn't any homeless people in there, because it was, but nowhere near like what we see in most cities and in many states where it's epidemics of homelessness. So, I feel like we're at a time and period when so much change is happening, as a country, as a world. We're coming to a point of where I think we need to do more. I think we need to be more present in our community and do a lot more things that can make real change. And I think it starts with us, doing the things necessary. I feel like empowerment of self is always first. And outside of ourselves, we then can make changes and make adjustments or influence those around us to be better and do better. So I'm curious to know, what, I wonder how many of our listeners were able to say that they were aware of Juneteenth and aware what it meant and what it means. And it is a national holiday. So it does has essence. It has history in the U.S. Significantly. So I do know that our broadcast stretches off all the way across different countries and different municipalities. But for the majority of, today, I feel like there's been a lot of insight of information on social media. People have been posting about the celebrations, and I've seen a lot of the Juneteenth flags, banners, the color significance of Juneteenth and Freedom Day being posted. But like, how did you spend your Juneteenth, overall, for those who are of African American race? And I know we have a large listening base of African Americans. So, I would love for you to go to LouddMouthRadio.com and go to our contact page, share with us what you did today. But I will say for myself, I took the time to get some things done, and just finding what I would say the freedom to focus on things that I needed to do in the house here, and working in the studio, working on content. I got a log of interviews that I have to edit and prepare, and dealing with production and dealing with our clients and dealing with our network
to the LouddMouth Radio Network
as they're coming into the network. And I'm very grateful that the platform is just steadily growing and more people are becoming more aware of what we're doing and what we're about. And to me, that's another level of freedom that's profound. 10 years of showing up and doing this in various times, in various ways, with various people, I think is a blessing. And for those who may not recognize that we are growing in the way in which we have over the last few years, you have an opportunity to tune in and check in some of the content of things that we've been doing. One of the things that's been important to me, I feel, has been to be consistent. And I think having the freedom to do that is not a small thing. I think that people have been listening to what we're talking about. They've been, we've been very, very consistent about letting people know that we are a community driven network when it comes to our entrepreneurs. We like to support them wherever they are, wherever their footprint is, whomever their client base may be. And for me, these Monday shows have become a mainstay, and they have helped me to push myself in certain boundaries in areas that I may have created for myself. I'm not saying that I had a lot of restrictions, but I probably created more boundaries or obstacles for myself, which I think we all do. And I think the more that we find out that we're not restricted to being just the person that somebody might be comfortable with you being, you'll find yourself growing more. And I think that you'll start to see the change. People will start showing up that maybe have never come across your timeline or in physical places in different circles. And if you are a person that is sociable, or you believe in networking and things of that nature, you also may find yourself connecting to you more like-minded people and people hopefully that are in different stages of life that is greater than where you are, or maybe is in the direction in which you want to go. Maybe they're in your peer group and you're discovering them for the first time. And to be able to share, what makes you who you are, and for them to connect to that is something amazing. I think that for me, I've had a newfound sense of freedom in so many personal steps of in my life, as well as in business and social settings. I'm going through almost a reincarnation is probably a good way to describe it, and just releasing those feelings of strongholds that I may have allowed myself to fall into. And I think as a creative, when you're a person that's creative, it's easy to feel challenged about things that you may have been doing. And I'm sure there's always a bigger list of what you haven't done yet. So that's the cool thing about being creative. You always find yourself working on something that is the essence of you. So what that may look like is just predetermined by you. And I think that it's important that you explore all parts of yourself. And that is another freedom, being able to show up for yourself and do things that maybe you didn't think you could do. And even if they're far-fetched, even if they seem like they're unreachable, unmanageable, like you're not even tangible, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You want to explore those things. I feel like we're at a time period where it's now or never. It's now or never. And never meaning that, why not? You can always test drive it and try it. And if it doesn't come out to be the way you wanted it to be, then you can make adjustments accordingly. The other thing that I think that we need to become more aware of is that sometimes our friends, sometimes our peers, they get accustomed to you being the person that they may have been introduced at one point. That does not mean that you're the exact same person that they met. But I think sometimes it's important to reconnect to people that you may have known for a long time. And in that discovery of where they are, where you are, can be something of a whole nother level of freedom that you may not have experienced, because there may be something that they're doing that is along the lines of where you may have interest, or you just want to see what they're doing and how life has been, giving them their joys and desires, and checking in with them and just showing up as a friend. One of the things that I wanted to also bring into conversation is learning to take note of where you are. You may have some things that you have had in your to-do list, and you haven't found a lot of time to do it. And I think the biggest thing is recognizing that you got to make time, because there's not going to ever be the time that you think that you're going to have to get things done. So the best thing to do is to just try to find a way to get it into motion and setting time for it. For me, I think the most unlikeliest thing would happen for me, and at such an awkward time, I felt like was not the best time. It's never a good time for things that are obstacles to happen, right? But a lot of times there's some undersound blessings that lie. And the last few months I've had significant challenges of mobility, and I had to have surgery, and in having that surgery, I've been challenged in ways that I can't even begin to explain. And because of me having a lack of mobility, my physicalness was not able to move in which I hoped. But it definitely, on the other side, gave me an opportunity to work on things about me that I needed to do. Tasks, sometimes absolutely nothing, just sitting still and not allowing things to run me, not jumping and reacting to a lot of different things. I know for sure I've been very active about digressing stress for myself. I know that one of the biggest things I think that's made a huge difference is realizing that my attitude could determine a whole lot more, and not letting myself be down on myself about pretty much anything. There's always stuff that's happening and going on, but you have to make a decision how you want it to impact you. That is another freedom. How will you let life handle you? Do you just go with things and allow things just to handle you, or do you really stop and take note of what you got going on? You have to take inventory about yourself. I think that in itself is a profound thing to do. I know for me, I had to make some adjustments. I had a long list of things that I've been wanting to do, and I could go into my notes, into my phone easily and pull it up. And at any given time, I could done more in the essence of what I just, what I wanted to do. But what was my excuse? I was too busy to do it. I was running and doing this. Other things was getting my attention. So what's the difference now? My mobility had to be stripped in order for me to tap into some other areas and get more focused. And, it helped me. I actually found myself breathing better. I found myself paying more attention to nature. If you don't know, I've become heavily in love with sunsets. I've always loved the sun and things of that nature, but I think living in a climate, I've lived in Hawaii and living in California, have gotten very much accustomed to being able to be accessible to mountains and water, and it has made such a significant difference with me, like, mentally and psychologically and emotionally. I feel such a much better level of balance. And so for me, that's also transcended into my attitude. And, I don't find myself as not negative in the sense of outlook on things, but more optimistic. I've always considered myself to be an optimistic person. But you got to be careful with, sometimes you may not realize that some of your interactions with other people can start to tip over into your into your framework. And nobody wants to be considered a negative Nancy, but you'll be surprised how sometimes people can influence how you are in how you interact with people. So, or just even your own outlook and take on things. And so I've been paying attention to a lot of those things. I have some just personal achievements that I'm starting to be able to take and take my notepad and cross off and say, oh yes, finally I'm getting this done. And I'm seeing certain things that I had not been doing coming to surface and having a level of completion. I've always been a person that likes completion, and it makes me feel like I'm accomplishing my task that I have had for myself. And especially if something I'm doing has significance to somebody else, or it affects somebody else, I definitely know I need to get it off my plate. So for me, I just felt like I wanted to. Initially, I was. I ain't gonna even lie to you guys. Today is a late recording for me. I did want to allow the day to go through the day so that I could experience what my day would feel like, and I could come and talk about it a little bit. And it's been a really quiet day. I feel like a lot of people have probably took today to relax. It's not been very busy overall with so many different things. I haven't really had a lot of conversation with a lot of different people today. Even for me, I wanted to get organized and get this done, and it took me quite a bit to get to this point to go live today. And I'm glad that I did. It definitely was not the initial setup that I wanted to do, but I definitely got it set up and got it done. As you can see, I'm live now. But what I want to share for those who see this segment, I will have more content in this actual segment that will be available on whatever your favorite podcast platform is. So if you're a Spotify, iHeart, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher Radio, Google, Apple Podcasts, anything that resonates in podcast form, our content is accessible. And I will be releasing this audio in this segment today and uploading that to our platform. And it will also have some additional little special components that I'll add to this broadcast that I'm not going to play live right now. But I want to share with you guys too that if you are a person that has been following us for some time, and you've been a supporter of LouddMouth Radio. I just want to tell you thank you. It's a sincere appreciation to have someone take time to listen out to your content, to share the content, to know that we're a purposeful platform, and that you matter just as much as those who I have on the platform that come on and talk about themselves, talk about their business, or even me on this personal development series of Sonny's Monday Motivation. I typically try to get it out to you earlier in the day so that it can give you a full day of opportunity to hear it earlier on to get your day started. And maybe sometimes you might be listening to it tonight when you've wind down from your day. But I want to thank you guys for helping me to be just as consistent as my goals are. And trust me, when you're sending messages or you're making posts in regards to the content, I see it. I appreciate you so much. I try to speak on it as much as possible during the broadcast, and I want to always recognize those who have supported our content from day one. And this is a 10th season. Sometimes I still just kind of feel baffled that much time has passed, and it's been a task to just maintain the aspect of what you're doing. Now podcasts has become so popular. I remember when I first started doing this, it wasn't really fully understood. And, and for that, I think that it allowed the network to resonate in a lot of different ways, from politics to community things that were going on, entertainment, definitely entrepreneurship, sociably, recognizing things and cultural issues that could be discussed, and being able to have all of those shows archivable. Like every show we've done, you can pull it up and listen to the playback. And for that in itself, I'm just grateful that we've been able to do this for this length of time. And I just wanted to just take today to be visible. I've definitely have been in the background doing some work. But for those who are coming up on some of these segments, guys, when I tell y'all, there's so many amazing people that I have had a chance to talk to and meet, and small business is a big part of my heart and soul. I know that there's some people that may not be familiar with the PSA that I did back in 2020 during COVID, but I came up with this concept of a campaign called We're the Economy. And the video itself is on LouddMouth.com. It's on the front page of LouddMouth.com. You can see it, and it's also on our YouTube, LouddMouth TV. But I remember when I was writing out that segment and putting statistics together about small business and how important that small business is the driver of, we're the economy. And it's so important that small businesses are, supported. And being a small business and being in a community of people that, that you constantly are vying for their attention, it's important to know that people are able to connect to you. And we've been grateful and so blessed to be a platform that has been able to be a component of that. And so for me, I don't take it light, guys. I really don't. So, I mean, if you've heard me say it before, I will always say my level of appreciation is real when it comes to what we've been able to do. Now, going forward, I know that there's been so many things. We were talking about, upcoming segments and stuff of that nature, and I got quite a bit rolled out. But I want to invite those who have not had an opportunity to follow us. We're on social media on the LouddMouth Radio Network, on Facebook. We do have a LouddMouth Radio. I have on Instagram, and it kind of tags in. We'll post onto LouddMouth on Instagram as well as LouddMouth Radio and LouddMouth Network. But definitely, if you're doing the podcast, look us up, find us, favorite our channel, and follow our content, and please share with other listeners. I appreciate you guys so much for that in advance. So I'm gonna conclude this segment. I don't have anything more that I want to add beyond saying that I've enjoyed having an opportunity to broadcast this content on Facebook Live, and I want to extend a big celebratory Happy Freedom Day to those who do celebrate Juneteenth. And I hope you guys have a fantastic week. It is Monday. We are already flying through June. June is less than 2 weeks away from concluding, and we'll be on the 4th of July before you know it. So I'm going to ask that you guys, do whatever you can to live a life of freedom, because you're the only person that can measurably put that in position to what that looks like to you and what's important to you for that to happen. So whatever that needs to happen for that to take place, I suggest you do it, and do it to where it serves you and hopefully empower you. All right, y'all. So y'all been a blessing to me, and I wish you all a great week. Until next time, peace. You Need Tent 2, located at 3118 Emory Street Northwest and Unit B in Covington, Georgia, is dedicated to delivering high-quality tent workmanship and excellent customer service. You Need Tent 2 has a variety of tent shade options and films ready to be installed with a lifetime manufacturer's warranty. So stop by today. You Need Tent 2 is the go-to destination for professional window and tenting services. Don't forget to visit us online at youneedtent2.com. And don't forget to tell them that LouddMouth Radio sent you. On a tight budget? Find local savings on LouddMouth.com. Find great coupon deals in your area of local restaurants, hair salons, auto, home improvement, contractors, and more. Rate and review your favorite businesses or click and connect them on your favorite social network pages with a friend. LouddMouth.com, the voice for local search, local business, and local savings. Register your small business online today with LouddMouth.com, the small business choice for affordable internet and local advertising with plans as low as $65 a month. Create your business mini website profile promoting your products and services. Join the LouddMouth network and get top placement on LouddMouth.com today. No matter the time or the season, we're open and available 24/7. Shouldn't your dealership be too? Carrumba.com, the convenient online used vehicle marketplace. Register your independent dealership now. $30.7 million small businesses in the U.S., creating 1.5 million jobs annually. Small business accounts for 64% of new job creation in the U.S. There's strength in numbers. No matter what we face, know that there's strength in us. Because of you, we're able, we're capable, we're resilient. And we are available because we are small business. And together, we're the economy. You're listening to the LouddMouth Radio Network.